everyone. Let's see who is online. Please type hi in the chat if you hear us. I'm checking quickly on LinkedIn to see if it is live.
I'm gonna close a bunch of tabs just to make sure that
Yeah, it is live.
brilliant.
Amazing. So let's start. And who joins can talk to us. Welcome again. This is another webinar on Wednesday talking about the business side of Archviz. I have Fabio. Together, we talked in the last two times about some essential steps to attract premium clients. And we are talking from a perspective from someone who is working with studios, bigger studios. Fabio himself, he's working with a big studio, big agency, and I'm also working with bigger studios or like studios between 10 to 15, I mean 10, sorry, to 30 artists. Just a quick interruption. I do hear myself twice. Do you hear an echo on your side?
On I don't.
Okay,
What if I
that's
mute my mic when you talk? Can you hear yourself twice?
now. Do I hear myself?
So
Yeah. So
every
do you
time that
have
I'm gonna
LinkedIn or do you have LinkedIn or YouTube open?
no, nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
But I
I
think that
mean, it
probably what
doesn't
you hear
matter
is
as
my.
long as
Let me see if I can find my earpieces. Maybe I borrowed them to Dagmara. Hold
all
on.
good, all good. Just keep it. No worries. I mean, it's not a big issue. Yeah. So in the last two times we talked about, in the first time we talked about premium clients. What does it mean to have a premium client, and where to find them, where to start, and we talked about how to flip the idea. Instead of you searching for a premium client, you start by yourself by being a premium service provider. And then we went deeper into the four steps about how to present yourself in a premium as a premium service. And those are four ground level steps. And it doesn't mean if you are going to be a premium, you do need like extra 10 steps. The four steps, if you do them right, you will be already in a premium way, premium level. The four steps are first, um, you do need to have a good understanding of the economics of your business, income streams, revenue, and expenses, how to deal with this and that, how to balance, how to think about your business in the long term. And step number two is how to make boundaries between you and the client. And step number three, we have the, I would say, how Fabio call it, the nurture and fight. Okay, there is always like a balance between those two. They don't sometimes come together, but sometimes you do need to do them. And the fourth step, I forgot it. Maybe Fabio can remind
Uh,
us.
understand your boundaries.
The
Understand
boundaries,
the
the economics.
um, understand the boundaries, the economy, the nurture and fight, and there is another step that now I can't, for the life of me,
Perfect.
think
Maybe
of.
you remember. If you remember,
Yeah,
please write it in the
if
chat.
I do, I'll get back to you.
No, no, no worries. The audience are going to
No, it's just
mention
because I'm focusing on the points that I want to share today, so I didn't
it.
really think
Yeah,
about.
all good. No worries. So that was the like I would say the foundation for you to start thinking about your business in a premium way. The next step, the second episode, we talked about research and development and how to use it to win new clients. And just to mention, like one of my clients were listening to this last week, and he said, "Hey, Anis, I would like to use it. Okay, I mean, I don't always mention that research and development is something we need to use to get the clients. And he contacted a developer, and the developer immediately responded, said, yes, go forward with this development. And it was only for one image. So he was making a test about one type of images for a developer. So that was, I would say, this is like a beginning of a relationship. Okay, once he will deliver the that type of image, so he has a contact, he can get back to him. And funny enough, the developer asked the artist, I saw your website, you have great quality. A quick question, those images on the website, are they renders or photographs? Okay, it was a great, I mean, compliment. So and the artist is talented, I mean, he has a great quality. So those were the two episodes, the two topics for the previous two episodes. Today we will speak about how to apply them, some of the tips, or I would say questions that will trigger your mind toward being a premium service provider. And we will announce the mastermind, something that I think it will bring a lot of value to many of you. Um, it will happen at the end of this episode. We will talk about how this work and what it includes and what is the main benefit for you and is it for you or not. And that's it all from my side. Fabio, welcome. Thanks for your time. And just a note, Fabio is not a guest. So this is something we are doing together. Please, um, what are the topics you would like to speak about for today?
So I would start by giving some. I can hear the echo. Maybe you have to mute yourself if I'm talking. So I want to start by sharing some of the actionable things that you can start doing in order to elevate yourself with your clients, right? The first thing that you need to learn to do is what I refer to as the price to value switch conversation. Now, this is not a trick, this is something that you have to learn how to practice it with your clients. Basically, in most cases, the conversation will revolve around prices. This is inevitable. You will go there eventually. What you need to do, you need to learn how to make your clients think of value instead of prices. I give an example. A client can come to you and say, well, the prices are too high, or the I know somebody that will offer it to me for cheaper. These are all conversation tactics that the clients will use to sort of like keep the bracketing of the price in check. That's okay. It's not a bad thing. That's their job to do. For you, what you have to develop is that ability to drive the attention of your clients from the price itself to the value of the project. I give you an example. If your client is saying, this is too expensive, you could say, I totally understand it. I see that price is something that it's very important to you, and I guess that this project is very much dependent on the price. But what about the output? If I was able to deliver what you're trying to achieve, will the price of the services that I'm offering uh, match your goals? Would it help you get there? There is no linear way to do this. The more you'll practice, the more you'll try to get the attention of your client towards the value of the project, the better you'll be able to handle that conversation. And given some clients, they really don't care, they just want to have the price. If that's what is driving them, then you need to come to an understanding and say, does this make sense for me? Am I doing it in a way that I'm making a little bit of money and I'm also creating something that it's okay for my practice? Because value, it's not only the money, it's also the type of project that you produce so that it can help you move forward in your progression as an artist. Or maybe this is a client that you just don't want to work with because you know that they don't care about the edge that you can bring. They just want to have the cheapest thing possible. Now, depending on how hungry you are, you can agree to work at the price that the client is saying, or you can make that decision to say, look, I do understand that this is something that it hasn't got a lot of value. It's a low end project. Um, Maybe we're not a good fit, but I know somebody that can do it for the price that you're looking for. You send them to somebody that you can refer them to, and maybe you help them this way. At the end of the day, what we want is always for our clients to be happy. If we can help the clients, even if money doesn't get into our pockets, we are still doing something good, because that client, if he's going to have a bad experience with the other designer, they will come to you to say, look, I've seen your portfolio, we have talked, you have helped me going to the other person, I'm not happy with that, let's work at the price that you agree. And this has happened in the past to me. So I am always of the opinion that you should think that way, that you're always trying to help the client achieve their goals, even if you cannot do the work yourself. So this is one of the first points, the price to value switch conversation. Um,
May I
the
add
next,
to it? I
sorry,
mean,
Anis, I'll let you.
yeah, sorry. I mean, would you like to jump to the next topic or should I add on this topic?
No, no, no. If you can add,
Yeah.
if you let me talk, I'll talk forever.
So what Fabio explained to you and gave you like a couple of examples are those are like examples of the ways of how to handle those situations. Um, we can do it in different way, not maybe in different way, but like you should have some sort like of previous steps in mind before you do it in this way. So what Fabio provided you is an example. As I mentioned in the mastermind, we are going to share more about the business model, the complete business. I would say the studio. If you have a studio, how to start until the end, all the parts. And one of the parts in your pricing strategy, it should be risk reversals. So, for example, I am providing this service for this price. Okay, it includes one, two, three, four, five, six. Okay, and the one said, yeah, it's too expensive. Okay, no worries. So how about making it in different way? This price is going to change. An example, three revisions for a project, or maybe unlimited revisions until the deadline. And the price is going to be, let's say, 2000 per image. Okay. And the client will say, oh, you know what, I like your quality, but it's too much. I cannot really afford it. No worries. Okay. This, I mean, with three revisions, it might take us like 2 months to finish this. You can tell them, how about finishing it in 3 weeks? Okay. For maybe 1500. In this way, I am getting more, the same, a good amount of money, but like in a shorter time. So time is a huge thing. So risk reversals, it has a lot of sides you need to decide on in your business. And this is something we should do together inside the mastermind. Fabio and I will go through all the things you can take from the service and play with it. I wouldn't say play, but use it to keep the price relevant in terms of value and time. And it's not like only like white or black. I'm presenting this for this price, the client said it's expensive, goodbye. There should be always a negotiation. I mean, you are negotiating all the time, even with your son, with your wife, like with your friend. There is always a negotiation. And once you understand that negotiation is not a sales tactic, it is like an everyday life practice, you will succeed. So keep in mind, once you want really to get beyond um, getting upset, someone saying it's too expensive, think about the mastermind. It's the right place for you to get into the right conversation, I would say, to handle these situations. Um, just a quick note. My job is really to highlight how much you can get out of these mastermind. And we will talk about it at the end. Sorry, Fabio, if I interrupted. Please continue. So I will talk about. So Fabio is going to talk about the topics, and then I will tell you how you can take these topics from the mastermind. Please, Fabio, continue. I will mute myself.
I see that people are paying quite a bit of attention in the comments. Ahmed said, "Learn the economy of the business, know how to utilize what makes you special." So the unique selling proposition, which is what did not remember. Uh, Boundaries, yeah, and nurture, fight and nurture, which are the 4 points, which you will see. They will emerge at any stage of building your business. But anyway, the next thing that you should do is to try and penetrate high performing markets. Now, what does this mean? Um, any market can be performing if you find the right type of project. Now, I have had clients that try to penetrate the Middle East because this is a market where there is a lot going on at the moment, but they ended up burning themselves out because that market did not align with the values of their own work, right? So penetrating a high performing market means trying to find projects that align with your goals and ambitions. And this could be done in America, it could be done in Australia, it could be done even in Italy and in India. I have some funny stories of somebody who's a very good business person who runs an office. They were getting inquiries from India. Um, he is based in India of projects that had very large budgets and they wanted to have reliability. And after the conversations, because the office was based in the same city, in the same country, the client said, you know what, this project is a little bit too important. We're going to go to London. And so they started to work with an office in London. This guy then had the idea to go and open an office in London. So he actually intercepted the same client. And so in London, he was taking the job from India and send it back to India for the production. So like it is a funny story to say, but it turned out that a market that a lot of people might think it's not that high performing can actually be a performing market. And so there is always this idea of having to go to America because in America the projects pay more. You need to find projects that are actually where there is people that understand what it means to invest money in good communication, um, to get something out of you so that they can market the building better, right? And so you need to find those spots in every single market. You'll be surprised. A market that is performing very well right now is Brazil. There is a lot of projects that are being developed there, and having the right cultural component can actually allow you to have good conversations with people based in Brazil because they know how important it is to invest in good communication. Within the United States, if you have worked, say, with New York, Los Angeles, and Miami, you know that there are markets within the same market that perform a lot worse. Like, for instance, Miami is a very difficult market in comparison to New York or to, the whole east, northeast part of the US. And it's a market where a lot of people don't like to work. Why? Because there is a big presence of uh, Mexicans, Latin Americans, South Americans that have offices there. A lot of developers are also from those places, and so culturally there is sort of like a match, right? Um, Again, we have done very good projects in America, but we have also found very bad clients there. We have done great projects in Australia, but we have also found very bad clients there. You need to find a market that performs good for you. So, this idea that if you go to America, you're going to make more money, or if you go to London, you're going to make more money, this is not a statement that holds completely true. You need to find within the performing market the projects that align with your goals and ambitions.
Yeah, for the alignment thing, one of the most important parts. So while talking about the most important part, we lost Fabio. Nice. Fabio, where are you? So,
Sorry, I
hey,
muted
hey
myself,
Fabio.
but I left instead. I try
Instead
not.
of muting yourself, you left the audience. Yeah. So one of the most, sorry, just to repeat, one of the most important parts when thinking about alignment, what does it mean to align with a market? If you are outsourcing, let's take the US as an example, and you are outside the US. Okay. If you are, let's say, in a market that is well known for cheap um, service, you cannot go there in a premium service immediately. You might end up with a premium service there, but like it will take you some time to build up the trust. Also, with complete honesty, an Italian guy reaching out to a client in the US, it's easier for them to reach out a client to get a client compared to another guy from China. Okay, why? Because the history of China and US labor market, there is a lot of conflict. So I'm saying this because I had a couple of studios. They wanted to enter a completely new market. They had no clients, and the number one study I needed to make is what do really people think about the other people. Okay, and this does not really come when you talk to people. You need to read their comments on social media. You go on Reddit, you see like what do really people in that country think about that country. Write it as a Google search, and this also won't really give you a complete indication about um, what they really think, but like it will give you a general impression. Okay, and for example, this is one thing I faced when I came to Germany. Like I never thought about Syria in the same way I thought about when I came to Germany. Like I mean, people don't really know where is Syria. I mean, they just know, oh, Syria, Arabs, so desert. You have a tent, a camel, and that's it. Guys, we don't have a desert. Okay, the guys, I'm living on the sea. I mean, it's there is nothing from what you are talking about. And some people ask me, do you have cars? Guys, it's 2000. I don't know. It was like 16. Are you serious? So the thing is, you do need to think about those aspects. Now, this is one thing. Okay, the other thing is you can also, like 100%, if you're talking about the US, there will be people from your own country. They travel to the US and they immigrated like there, and you can get in touch with them. You need to search for them. And by searching for those people is very easy. You go on LinkedIn and you search for the title or maybe the profession, and you look for the people who has their profile in your own language. You will find them. So that is those are two things to consider when going to a new market and you want to enter in a good position, I would say. And the beauty of the mastermind, so Fabio has a lot of experience in multiple markets. Me as well, I have experience in multiple markets. And um, like collectively, we know which market you can enter or expand to. Or do you need to stay in the market you are now? Because we know that this is a good market. Okay, you need to stay. Maybe you are looking at it in different way or in difficult way. For example, what Fabio said about Brazilian market. Now, if you talk to Brazilian artists, they'll say, "Oh, the market here is down." People, there is a lot of work, yes, but like people don't really pay a lot. We need to go to the US. Okay, this is like the general idea. And when you hear this, it means maybe people are not perceiving the reality in a good way, or at least they don't know how to sell themselves or don't know how to find those bigger clients or premium clients. So that is my input on the market. So Fabio, please continue. Do we have, the thing is on this platform, I hope we don't have any lagging, any cuts in the streaming. Are you losing me, Fabio?
No, it's great.
Perfect.
Actually, much better than the other one.
Yeah, the downside is I don't read the comments, but no worries. Fabio is reading.
It's funny because what you were just saying, Demian, he wrote, Miami is our top market, probably because we're from Latam. This is exactly what I was talking about, that my experience will be different from somebody else's experience, and that's okay. You need to, again, we talk about your unique selling proposition. Maybe, Demian, yes, it is probably because you're from Latam, so you got a connection with those clients, you understand each other better, uh, from a cultural point of view. This is your unique selling proposition. It's the thing that makes you thrive in the market. And that's why it's very important when we talk about positioning in certain markets to understand that within the market, there are certain things that will allow us to perform better, right? Um, so this is great. It's great because we're getting sort of like a live feedback of the stuff that we're saying.
Yeah, there is also a point regarding this alignment. Okay, alignment is number one is what do they really think about you and your culture? And two, do you have people there from your own country or culture that can get you in? Three is your style of work, which is I would say I would put it number one. Look, people in Europe here, I noticed they like this like desaturated sky. Okay, this image with the rainy thing. You see, this image is nice to look at, but it doesn't work in Saudi Arabia. It doesn't work in Miami. Okay, you do need to really respect the culture aspect in the images for that country. For example, if you remember, Fabio, I've shared once there was like a Sweden architect who made some sarcasm about the 3D artists, and he said, well, those images, um, they are all nice, okay, but I mean, where did that guy reading the book in a suit sitting on a river that was very cold, you see, sitting on a river in Finland. I mean, you do need to respect the culture, see how you need to present that building in that culture, and like take every detail into consideration. So one of the other aspect as well, I mean, regarding culture and the environment for in your images and the style is vegetation. Okay, you cannot put a palm while you are in Germany. Okay, I mean, it will be very weird. I mean, you can have palms here, yes, but they are definitely not like the ones Fabio is seeing every day.
I can tell you a funny story. One of the first projects that I had through an old friend at university, he was from Saudi. He's from Saudi. And he asked me to help him because the father was working on a project for the Saudi embassy in London. And so he said to me that in the entrance, he wanted to have palms. And I was like, man, in this country they don't even sell palms. And he goes like, no, we have air conditioned, there is 50 degrees inside, we can have palms. And so like, it was a funny thing because then I talked about it with a colleague of mine, and he was like, yeah, of course they're gonna put palms inside the embassy, it's Saudi. And this was at the very beginning of my career, so it's something that at the time I had no idea. Also because back then, we're talking 2007, 2008, to put a palm in a rendering you had to photoshop it. That there weren't like 3D models, not that I remember at least. But anyway, okay, the next point, and this is a very actionable thing that people can do, is especially when you are at the beginning of your career and you are very much interested in upping your skills and get a little bit of real life experience of what it's like to manage a project uh, on your own, one good thing that you should do is to work with other archivists or agencies, studios that will hire you on a freelance basis. Now, this is where often people make the mistake to think that if you work as a freelancer or even as a company doing outsourcing for another studio, that this is not the same thing because you don't have your own client. This is a really wrong idea. You see, at the end of the day, a client is a client. It doesn't matter if it's Zaha Hadid or if it's the guy that has the fruit shop at the end of the road. A client is a client. So managing a client and a project is creating work exactly in the same way as you would for a real estate company, an architect, or anybody else. Now, the important thing here is that a studio or an agency, they come to you specifically for your skills and for the type of work that you do. If you go to a client, especially at the very beginning, the client most likely is interested in having any type of work at the price that they set. This is the majority of the mentality of the average clients out there. So especially when you're in the beginning of your career, by working with clients, you actually progress less than if you were to produce freelance work for another agency. Um, this is a very important thing to understand. And a lot of big agencies right now, they're making the switch. They are basically getting rid of the production and they're outsourcing the production to other smaller studios, because production is where most of the problems and complications happen. So here there is an opportunity, because if you have a small office, say 5, 6, maybe 10 people, getting some of that production work can actually help you paying the bills. You know, you take the money, you put it towards R&D, you can progress much better if you were to go and fight with clients out there that are just trying to push your prices down. Why? Because the thing that other agencies have figured out that you haven't figured out just yet, you will in the future, is how to manage clients. And so you can let these agencies manage the client for you. You take care of the production. Meanwhile, you learn how to manage a project. This will help you a lot faster into your progression in your career than if you were to go and fight real clients without a lot of experience. Um, I've had comments in the past of people saying, "Oh, this is so stupid because you're basically quitting a job to get another job." It's not like that. You're basically taking a project from another company, you're managing it yourself for that company, but with a full focus on production so that you can really focus on making beautiful things. And those people, that's what they're interested in. The client, no. The client, they want the project yesterday at half of the price, and it doesn't matter how it is. They want the sky blue, the grass green. That can help you. Obviously, you can decide not to go that way, but I can tell you it's a very smart way to do business. Anis?
Yeah, perfect. I mean, freelancing, I have literally very a lot of. I mean, I have a very conservative idea about it. I think the best guy to talk about, I mean, from my side, to talk about freelancing is Matteo Ferrari. He has a lot of experience about it, and he has done it for a long time. And maybe we should invite him in the future. You have a couple of comments. Okay, we have from Taina. He said hugs from Brazil. Hey, Taina. Inder said, hi, Anis Fabio. Great to see you guys. Great to see you. And he said, Inder said, Fabio would love to be a part of Digital Bunch as a freelance artist.
Who wrote that?
Inder. This is
I
going to be,
don't see the
this is
comment.
a chat on YouTube.
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, at the moment I think we're set at the moment, but you have my email. You can find it anywhere on LinkedIn. You can get in touch. Send me your portfolio. I really keep those on file, but I also want to be totally transparent because we get sometimes applications from people that have very little experience. I don't mean to be rude, but we have a very high pace in our office, so do bear in mind that it's we we don't hire juniors. We often, like if we have a position that it's an entry position, will be a mid position, but mostly we work with seniors. This is who we work with. And
Great.
also the quality of the animations, it's extremely high, so understand that we need strong portfolios.
So he asked, or she asked, um, um, should he contact you on LinkedIn or send you an email?
LinkedIn, you can, wherever you find me, contact me.
LinkedIn, Inder, LinkedIn. So this is one for, let me, I'm going to keep talking. I will open the LinkedIn. Now I found a way of how to read the comments. Very funny. So number one, I think. So Ahmed Amir, hi, the grand final. Yes, I mean, it's not the final one. We do have a lot of episodes in the planning. Demian, hi Demian. So Demian mentioned we had an echo. I think now it's solved. Francisco, hi, how's it going? Ahmed Amir summarized. You see, Fabio, the point we missed or we forgot. I think we should advertise it in different way. We should say like we made it on purpose, like as a gap, so they can engage. It was the value proposition. Um, so Miami is our top market. Yes, I mean great market. Um, so no lagging, very nice. Okay. Clear sky in Saudi means a soaring sun, a searing sun. Yes, my friend. I mean, it means you cannot open the car in your own hands. You do need to have um, some sort of protection. So,
After 1 month in Saudi, yesterday for the first time I saw the Kingdom's Tower, because the sky was so clean that you could actually see it. But usually it's so dusty and hot, that you it's difficult to see it unless you're close to it. But Riyadh, it's 110 kilometers of a city. It's gigantic, and so if you live 10 kilometers away, even though it's flat, you cannot see it.
so in the shared, yeah, I know the about the chart you share with artists to calculate their skills. Do you have a chart to calculate their skills? What is that chart?
Myself, we have one that we have developed at the Digital Bunch, but I don't think it's public. It's something that we use for to make sure that artists progress in their career, and also basically the way that we organize the team. This is a little bit of an inside information. I'm not sure if I can share it, but the idea is that, have you seen the movie Moneyball?
No.
So basically, this is a movie with Brad Pitt and Yona Hill, I think it's his name. It's about baseball, and basically it's this team, the Athletics, I think, that built a team using just the stats of athletes on a lower budget. And so by having this matrix, we try to find people with certain skills, because we know that we can move them around in our team and they'll be able to fulfill certain tasks in every project.
Yeah.
And so our pipeline, it's very efficient because the people that we hire, they have specific skills that allow them to move around in projects. But I'm not sure if I'm allowed to share this. It's We worked on it for a couple of days, very late nights, with the team, and it was actually very interesting to see how this can help you building a team that is capable of doing different tasks.
So Inder said Dagmara once shared.
Oh yeah, she shared it with you.
I don't know if
Uh,
with him or on social media. So he said, and based on that chart, I see myself as mid artist.
okay. Yeah. Okay. We can have that conversation maybe later on, not during the stream. But anyway, Anis, I have another couple of points that I would like to share.
Yeah. So for from Ahmed Amir, he
Should
said
I
he would
go on?
like to have Matteo on the show. Yeah, we can definitely we can have him in the future. We have a couple of guests. They all have great experience in the industry. We will start sharing it later. Yes, please, Matteo, move to the next point. Sorry,
Fabio,
please,
Fabio.
please, please,
It's
Fabio.
okay. We're Italians. We're Italians.
Yeah.
So
So Matteo
the
Parvelli.
the, the
Okay,
next
sorry.
point, this would be a good hybrid. I wish I had the skills of Matteo. So the next point would be to prioritize earnings. Now, this is basically, and again, all the points that we're touching, they're not linear because there is no linear progression in this career. You'll have to go sometimes back for forth, you'll have to jump a couple of steps and going back again. But anyway, prioritize earnings. Now, this is something that, take it with a grain of salt, but sometimes you have to do whatever it takes to make money. If you run a business, money is a tool that will allow you to stay in business. If you take the money that you earn by doing jobs that maybe you don't like, you can then use that money to create R&D projects that can help you getting closer to the type of client that you want to work for. I give you an example. This is a client that I finished a consultation with maybe a couple of months ago. His idea was to work with a specific type of furniture maker. And during our discovery session, what I've learned is that he was turning down a lot of projects because they were not the type of projects that he wanted to work on. So, during our conversations, we have come to the mutual understanding that if he did take those projects, then he could take some time off from working commercially to create better projects with which he could go and tackle different clients, right? So this is a very important thing for you to understand. When you get to do projects that maybe pay you very bad, but you don't have any alternative, you can make the decision to take part of the money and say, today I'll take a day off and I'll work on, I don't know, Marvelous Designer because I want to make better pillows for my couches, or maybe I'll learn Unreal Engine because I want to be able to make animations, right? It's not a question of like, uh, not having the money or not earning enough. Is a question of you saying consciously, whatever I'm going to make, I'm going to put it into the development of myself, right? So prioritize earnings, whatever it is that you can earn, put it into your own personal development. I'm gonna check the last point if you want to
Perfect.
add anything to that.
We have one big point contributing to what Fabio said, earnings. Um, inside the mastermind, there is we will talk mainly about the business model completely, and the business model contains like 9 parts, and it has in general two sections. Section number one is what people see, and section number two, what happens in the background. And the section number one, it starts with your client. When you define a segment, a profitable segment, or I would say the type of client that aligns with your values, with your quality, with the the way how you work, That is step number one. This is the first part. The second part goes to your value proposition. Now we are back to the four-step formula. Then the third part is we talk about the channels. I mean, how are you going to deliver that value proposition to the first part, which is the clients? Then we have your sales process. How are you going to sell to those people, advertise and sell for those people? And at the end of this part, we have one big thing, which is revenue streams. This is part number one. So client segment, your proposition, the channel that will link both of you together, and then how to advertise and sell to them. And at the end, you need to have always an eye on the revenue streams. The second part of the business model is more about what happens in the background. So number one is who are your partners? Okay, a partner could be someone who is leading, giving you a job. Okay, like at least outsourcing to you, which is freelancing, what Fabio already talked about. A partner could be someone who is like feeding you with specific part of your 3D production. So it could be someone who is taking care of that 3D animation, and you are great at images. The other one is 3D animation, or someone who is like taking the responsibility for the modeling. It could be someone who is like doing different type of a process, or someone who is providing you with the marketing and sales, and you are doing the production. Those are all types of partners. And once you have a clear idea about the partners, I mean, the partner is something that happens in the background. No one really hear about it from the outside. Usually, you can announce it, of course, but this is one part from the second section of the business model. Then you go to what happens internally. Okay, what is the team structure? Okay, how do you structure a team, and what type of assets do you have? Do you have people or PCs, or do you have licenses? Um, Based on this, you can have a clear idea about how to structure your business for profitability. For example, I always had this idea about three people in the studio, two senior artists and one the founder. Three of them, they are doing the job. The founder is doing the sales. Okay, they should get to the 500K revenue, not in profit, in revenue. This should be doable. Okay, it doesn't make sense for you to hire someone and pay them 60 or 70 if you are not making 140, 150. Okay, this is the very normal business 101. This is one thing. Now, if you have that structure of the team and you know the capabilities you can do, and you have a sales process and all the parts we talked about in the beginning, now you need to think what activities you do need to do to occupy that team and feed the marketing and sales and production. And once you know the activities and the team structure and the partners, you do know your costs. Okay, and the costs are two parts. We have the fixed and the variables. Once you have a clear eye on all of these, you have like a good understanding of the business. You know how to take a business to the next step. And all of those nine parts, they form something called the business model. And once you have them listed and written down in an actionable plan, you will like wake up. I'm not going to say that you wake up next day and you know exactly where is the client and you contact them. No, but like at least you have a clarity about, okay, how should I perform? And now when we are talking about marketing, we will talk about all possible ways. Sales, what is the sales process? What is the sales pipeline? What are the steps you need to go through? Once you have those discussions, your awareness about the business is going to be different. And once you are different in thinking about the business, what comes next is definitely not exactly like your previous experience. That is exactly the mastermind. That's why we are making it at the end of March. It's going to be on 28th, 29th, and 30th of March. We will talk more about it. In case you are interested about it, please send a message either to me or to Fabio. Okay, and just say, "Hey, Fabio, I'm interested in the mastermind. Here is my email." Okay, we will send you more information later. So that was my input about the earnings. Please, Fabio, continue. The last topic from Fabio is one of the major parts inside the mastermind, it's mainly in the channels and the marketing. Um, I will mute myself.
Yeah, so the last topic really is how to communicate. Social media is one of the main channels for communication. Now, there is two types of communication, right? There is one communication that is directed direct for the clients on everything that is related to production, sales, and everything. There is also a type of communication that it's more open and that it's meant for the masses, and that type of communication is meant to drive traffic towards you. That type of communication is actually something that the majority of artists do in the wrong way. um, I have made hundreds of videos on the topic of communication, but basically when you communicate with the outside world, the thing that you have to do is to think, what is it that could take the attention of people that need the type of work that I can produce and can drive them to come and check me out. Uh, I cannot tell you what type of content that is because, um, there is no one one size fit all. It's something that you have to do in a methodic way over long periods of times. If you follow my Instagram or my LinkedIn or the LinkedIn of the Digital Bunch or even Elephant Skin, which is the company where I was working before, the communication that we do is consistent and is precisely tailored to get to the eyes of people that might be interested in working with us. The most important thing is that whether posts work or not, we continue doing it over an extended period of time because consistency in this case is a lot more important than the type of message that you're putting out. Simply because um, by doing it for long and in a repetitive way, you have the opportunity to reach more people. And once the message get out, some people it might resonate, some other people it might not resonate. But if you do it consistently over and over, then you have the chance to find people that the message will resonate with, right? Uh, this is just, to give you sort of like a little splash of what it's like to communicate correctly through social media. In reality, we could make probably 10 videos on how to communicate on social media. I can give you one tip that you can try by yourself. One thing that I do when I'm on LinkedIn, I look for Italians working in architecture offices or in real estate companies. I look for people who studied in the same university as I did. I send them a message and say, hey, I really like your company. I'm trying to reach somebody that can help me getting in touch with your marketing people. Do you know anybody? And, between Napolitans, most people, are friendly and they want to help. Some people will be like, I don't know you, I don't have anything to do with you. But that's one thing that I tested in the past. It worked. Then I ran out of graduates from my university. But there are many things that we always think of every single day that we try in order to get to more people and to talk to more people. And again, like another thing that you have to remember is that that type of communication uh, is something that requires a lot of time. Even when you get a lead, even when you get somebody that is interested in your work, it will take. I read um, a while ago that even in a follow up, you need at least on average 16 emails just to create a meeting to discuss a project, right? So when you have a lead, you need 16 follow ups just to get on a meeting with somebody. So this should give you the scale of what it's like, to get to a person that actually wants to talk about your project. And I think this is very important. Then, when it comes to marketing, for a person to pay attention to a project that you did or that you created, it takes around 6 to 7 times the exposure. Meaning, if you have made a new picture, for somebody to see it, they will have to look at it 7 times as they scroll through social media in order for them to pay attention. So this is not for you to get discouraged, but just for you to understand that even though you might be communicating, uh, you need to do a lot more in order for people to see your message. And I can give you another tip. The LinkedIn algorithm works a lot different from, say, Facebook and Instagram, because LinkedIn understands this basic concept of marketing. And so they randomize the feed of the posts, because they know that for people to see your stuff, information needs to pop up not in a sequential way, but rather in a random way, right? A little bit like with commercials or with ads that you see online. And so, this is just for you to process. Now, when you're gonna do communication, you know that you don't have to get discouraged. Your project might be very good. It's just that people need to see it more times in order for them to appreciate it and to understand that you have done it. And that's it. This is the everything that I wanted to share for this video. Actually, we made it to the 1 hour mark.
Absolutely. Great, great. I mean, great conversation. I would
But
love to
I'm
hear
very
from the
excited to
ones.
dive into this more in depth when we're gonna do the master class,
Yeah.
for sure.
If you are still watching, could you please write down one biggest thing you learned from those 3 days, or at least from today's meeting? So at least we know how if we were valuable for you. So the last comment was from me.
And now I read the comment. Yeah, Dagmara shared it on the Creative Lighting podcast. Yes, uh, we need to ask her, because in theory, it's her document. So otherwise, I'm gonna get in trouble. But I should have it still somewhere on my desktop, because we worked on this together.
So Ahmed said, do you think posting the same work and same renders a few times is okay, or can it be somewhat redundant? Can
Do
I
you want me to
take
take
this
that?
question? Okay, I will take this question.
So Ahmed, to answer your question, I would say you can post the same image. Like if you're using Instagram, you can keep your feed clean by posting and reposting over and over. Don't care about the likes and the number of interactions or comments. It's actually more efficient if you keep your feed clean and you cycle your posts. There is an architect that does this incredibly good. His name is Chris Precht. He used to run a company called Penda, but now it's called Chris Precht, or Precht Studio. Go and see how he keeps his feed very curated. He's a master at doing this. And yes, you can cycle your work, no problem.
Yeah, for the thing about social media in general. Look, social media is literally not, it's like sugar, you see. You eat it, I mean, it's nice, and 5 minutes you forget it. That's your clients. They don't always read your comments. Also, they don't always remember your images. Social media take it as one thing. Just waking up, saying, "Hey guys, look, I am here." Okay, just imagine me and Fabio doing this. Not doing this, not posting on social media. You won't really hear about us. That's the same thing is for you. But the post itself is not the thing that will bring you the job. The thing that will bring you a job is the outreach. The way how we do the outreach is hugely important. And social media is extremely also important. Why? Because when you reach out to them in the beginning, they might not reply. Okay, and the more they see you, they might be motivated to reach out to you. And not all your posts should be about work. Okay, it's you are a human. You see, it's a business. You have a lot of struggles. You have a lot of things. You can post about them. So social media alone is like a complete masterclass. We will talk about it as well into the channel part inside the mastermind. Let me see if we have anything else.
Somebody is asking if LinkedIn Premium is a must.
No, I mean I will tell you what is LinkedIn. What the biggest benefit of LinkedIn Premium. If you are searching for clients, if you don't have premium, okay, you are limited to five searches. Now they have limited it, and you cannot just search for 100s, hundreds of new leads. You do have like a limit of five, the first five ones. And for example, if you are scraping LinkedIn or at least trying to collect leads from LinkedIn just to keep feeding your pipeline, you do need Sales Navigator just to get those leads. Is it a must? If you are doing content marketing alone, it's not a must. If you are doing content marketing plus outreach, you do need it. At least you do need a way of how to reach out to people. If those people are already in your network, you don't need it. But the new people, you do need to have. And a side effect, I don't know if this is true or not, but has happened to me. Um, when I don't have a premium, if I am reaching out to many people, or at least sending a connection requests to 5 or 10 people per day, is okay because you have a limit of 100 connection requests sent per week. If you are reaching out to 20 per day, although like 20 from 100 is not too much, I was banned like for a couple of hours. Once I had the premium, I mean, I really can reach out. I mean, I can send connection requests as much as I can, but I should not exceed the 100. That's my
Yeah,
experience.
I would say to add on top of that, if you are on your own, I would not spend the money because the reality is that even to do an outreach, okay, if you prepare a message that you're gonna send, say, to 20 people per day, it takes time. And to be honest with you, if you do have the credits, um, but you do not have the time because you're doing other things, you're just going to waste the credits to reach out to people. I have LinkedIn Premium. It's actually two people in our company that has it and that have it, and we are constantly doing reach outs. But sometimes I really have to say, okay, today I gotta use my credits because the month is coming to an end and I have not contacted anybody because I'm so busy with everything else, right? So if you're on your own, I don't think that you should do it because you're not going to get value out of it. I
Yeah,
think that there are some actionable points that are you can put in motion already now without having to spend any money. And when you get to the point where you have three, four people that are helping you and you are not fully invested in production, then you can open it and you can use it to reach out to people and to talk to them. But for now, don't spend the money if you do not have it. Rather, think of like I always say to my clients, start by optimizing what you already have. It makes no sense for you to make an investment without knowing what the return will be. You can only make an investment when you have money that you know that you can spend. Um, and
yeah,
like usually this is never in the beginning.
yeah. There are also Fabio. I would like to add two things about premium and not premium. Also, something I experienced myself. When you have a normal account, there are two sections. They will be like a little bit lower in the scrolling when people get into your profile, which are featured section and the services. So services, you can upload images or case studies, or at least what you already have as media, and people can give you reviews. So, for example, if you go to my profile, you will see a couple of pictures of people who gave me testimonials or were in the mastermind, and you will see the reviews. You will see it's 5 star, and you will read what people said. If you don't have the premium, you won't see it. Also, the featured section, many people depend on it for the call to action. If you are investing your profile, if you have something for free to give me, or at least to schedule the call, or at least get my portfolio, whatever it will be very low in the profile. If you have the premium, it will go up. That's my experience about the premium. I must say I have the premium. Okay, it's cancelled until the end of the month because Sales Navigator it costs like 100 euros. Yes, I can pay the 100 euros. I'm not actively connecting with people. That's why I'm not using it. But like later, if, when I am active, um, I will use
Yeah, it's like unless you have the chance to do it full time, I don't think it makes sense for you to invest money. Um,
it. Yeah,
I
guys.
don't know.
Also, one thing Fabio talked about, it's hugely important. Think about what you are getting back from your investment. It's not only something you pay. Um, and investment is a huge keyword compared to cost. You see. So Albert said something in the comments. People see salespeople as a cost, which is I know that they see it in this way, but it's definitely an investment. Someone is going out there and expect like expanding the knowledge or at least the awareness about your business. This is definitely not a cost. This is an investment. Do you have other comments?
Um, Simon is asking, in terms of outreach, do you find Instagram is any good? I would say if you target studios and other artists, then Instagram is great. But again, I think that we should really have a session just where we talk about social media in general, because if you build meaningful connections, then it's great for the outreach. The biggest problem that we have found using social media in general, unless it's LinkedIn, is that the profile of people that need renderings i- is so difficult to create, even for the algorithm, that like you won't necessarily find clients that need projects on Instagram if you're using it actively. Obviously, there is a lot of falsity in this statement that I just made. Why? Because sometimes it can happen that somebody, that is working on a development will see your picture. They will be like, oh, this is actually a rendering. I need something like this. They will get in touch. But it's a little bit like relying on the lotto in order to make money, right? It's a one off that could happen maybe twice, maybe three times if you're super lucky. But generally speaking, Instagram is just a place where you showcase stuff. And eventually, what's going to happen with a good Instagram is that it will work post sales. Why? Because the company that you work with, if you do good Instagram and you have a big following, when you publish the project, and they will get a lot of inbound traffic because maybe you post the picture, they will see some value in working with you because they'll be like, oh, that guy can reach 10,000 people. It's a good thing that we're doing the project together. Now, I'm not suggesting that you should build a big following because that's another job on top of everything that you already have to do. But this is basically the role of Instagram specifically as a social media channel, right? As far as I'm concerned, the biggest deals and the biggest interaction with the best clients that we've had so far, they never came from Instagram or from it's always stuff that we do in person, going to conferences, going to events, talking to people. uh, Yesterday we met a potential lead at dinner, somebody who we saw, started to talk to. I work in this company. It's like, great, we've been trying to work with this company for many years. You struck a conversation, and this is how in most cases you're going to get leads. But the work of farming is something that you have to arm yourself with loads of patience, because like sometimes it will take you 2 3 years to build a good farm pipeline. Farming, why? Because you water the plants and then the plants will grow, so it will take a little bit of time. That's why you call it farming. But then once that pipeline is built, the idea is that it should bring you consistently work over time, right? So you need to arm yourself with a lot of patience to do that.
Yeah,
I
one.
hope it's
I
helpful.
mean, there is a question I got a couple of times. Which place is better to get clients, Instagram or LinkedIn? And at that time, my statement is changing now. I will tell you the reason. But that time I was saying, look, on Instagram, it doesn't matter how great you are. Okay, if the next post is going to be something related to Kim Kardashian or maybe Cristiano Ronaldo, you are lost. No one is going to remember you. On LinkedIn, this won't happen. However, today, I mean, these days, we are looking to more political posts on LinkedIn than ever. So you could be lost if Elon Musk is going to be the next post. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's something new. Or you could be lost if you, while you are scrolling on LinkedIn or the client is scrolling, they will see the videos, and once they click on the videos, then it's going to be like a tweet, like Instagram again. I don't know what will happen later, but like for now, me and all my clients are dependent on in terms of social media on LinkedIn. Okay, that was really great. So, anyone who is interested in the future um, to attend the mastermind online, it's going to happen online at the 28th, 29th, or and 30th of March. Reach out to Fabio, send your email, and we will reach out to you via email as well later to give you more information and updates about this. We are going to host at some point a complete hour just to talk about it and the benefits. And I mean, if you are thinking, oh, what is it about? Is it for me or not? What I can say, like, um, this is going to change the way how you look to the business. Yes. Is it going to give you an action plan? Yes. Um, is before like after? Absolutely no. After you get out of the mastermind, you are a completely different person. You have a lot of actionable insights. It's not just theory. And the mastermind, the beauty of the mastermind is we are gathering together. We are talking about um, all the things that you won't find anywhere. I mean, online or even in forums. No one is really speaking about the pricing, about types of clients, or for example, red flags. Yes, we have a couple of posts, a couple of people talking about red flags, all of that, but like we don't have them in one closed private space. Even it's going to be online, it's not going to be published. It means the recordings are going to be available only for people who are going to attend. And if you are thinking this is for me or not for me, let me give you some categories just for you to know if it's for you or not. Anyone who is a solo artist, freelancing, would like to get clients, it's for you. Anyone who is having a small studio, I would say up to 10 people, you see, it is for you. If you have more than 10 people, or at least let's say you have 20 people, but they are all artists, it is for you. Okay, because you need to have the knowledge about how to structure your team, your marketing and sales team, and streamline those actions for to get new clients and get more profit, or at least stabilize the profit. And yeah, that's basically who I see. More than 20 people, I think they need a private coaching. I mean, mastermind could be beneficial 100%, um, but they might not be involved into the sales and marketing. They might have someone else doing it. Maybe the other one could really join. That's also up to you. I think I covered those a couple of points about the mastermind. Again, if you are interested, reach out to me or Fabio and just say, "Hey, Fabio, I'm interested. This is my email." We will post later more information about it. Um, Fabio, do you have any other questions or things we should answer on the stream?
Not
I'm
really.
not
I'm
following the
looking
comments.
forward. Not really. I'm looking forward, to the next session. And I think that this mastermind is going to be very helpful for a lot of people. And I hope that there is a lot of value also in these videos that we're putting out for people to have a little bit of guidance. I just want to make sure that those who listen to this stuff understand that there is no easy linear way of doing things. A lot of the stuff that you can do, it's a little bit like knowing how to use AI, right? Everybody can do whatever nowadays, because like you have the tools, and so everybody can do the same thing. The most difficult thing is to understand how to use all this knowledge and do something a little bit different so that you can get the results that you want. In that process, you need to be kind to yourself and allow yourself to make a lot of mistakes, because you will make a lot of mistakes. I am 42, 43 soon, and I feel like I still make a lot of mistakes. And sometimes I do beat myself a little bit down, with that. But then I remind myself that if I am making mistakes, it's probably because I'm still learning something, right? And that should be the right attitude for you to try and build a career in this field. So again, be patient, be kind to yourself, and don't worry, over time you'll get there.
Thank you very much, everyone, for watching, for staying until this point. Thank you, Fabio, for your time, for all the insights. Goodbye, everyone. See you next time. Great, great. This is the thing that we thought